trapped. Make the Mayans to be military. You know, Mayans became military. And Toltecs introduced the worshipping of the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl, the sun god. Now, what's Quetzalcoatl in Maya? Kukulkan. Exactly the same thing. Feathered serpent. The sun god related with fertility. Okay? So wherever you see a serpent head, you remember it's Quetzalcoatl Kukulkan. Remember? Everybody knows the shopping mall Kukulkan, right? The boulevard is called Kukulkan. So just keep it in mind. That's why Cancun means serpent's nest, snake's nest. Did you know that? Cancun. So let's use the imagination. Let's go back in time, and when all these walls were covered with stucco, you know, like clay, nice and smooth, and then paintings. Paintings in red, blue, white, green. Oh, beautiful. This whole ceremonial area, it was flat, just like this, but with no grass, no regular vegetation. Even the upper class, they live in thatched roof homes, near the center. Workers, back at the field. The division of classes was very strong. Anthropologists tell us that it was an upper class, you know, the nobles, the people with the knowledge, and the working class, the mass. So, now we understand why when the Spaniards arrived to Yucatan, all the cities were abandoned. There was no more. Nobles watched the game from up here, and the priests way at the other side. Regular spectators on top of the walls. The warriors watched the game from up there at the temple of the Yahweh. Friends, the name of the game, Puuc the Puuc. 7 players against 7. Can you see the ring? Ball to the ring. Ooh, anyone can do it. But there's one rule. Just one rule. No hands. Not even kicking. So how they play the game? Well, they hit the ball with their heads, shoulders, elbows, hips, and knees. The game could last more than a day. But see, it was not a sport game, it was a religious game. We find out that, see, the rings are, and the other person will answer you. Fantastic. Great acoustics. I would like to show you some carvings that show us the end of the game. See, because remember, as soon as there was a point, that was the end of the game. And it's when they select the captain of the winners, you know, to be sacrificed. Why the captain of the winners? Well, because he must be a good offering for the god. They were looking for the messenger to reach the heavens. So it was an honor. Everyone, that's supposed to be the rubber ball, the sun. See, this man also is making the experiment. Because the shape, no wheel. Now, right now, I'm going to point who's supposed to be holding the flintstone knife in one hand, and in the other hand he's holding the head from the captain of the winner.
Oh, very nice.
Can you see? But see, I wanted to show you how they protect themselves. It was a tough game. Look at the helmet. Protections for ears, shoulders, arms, the chest. They protect their waist, knees. Look at the knees. It was a tough game. Now right here we see the circle with the skull, meaning of death. And right here we see our hero. But guess what? In one time there were steps. If you have a look all the way to the left, you can see 5 steps were very restored. Can you see?
Yeah.
So, no doubt, there were steps for the spectators. But look, it seems to be vegetation, erosion, are the worst enemies of these remains. Do you know the name of the new enemy? No, leave that one alone. Now, everybody. So anyway, according to legend, this was like the entrance to the underworld. Remember, Chak, the rain god, lives down there. So we must please Chak. We need the rain.
No, we don't.
So according to legend, they select a young woman that never in history, never kiss a man, never, and never will. Then they took the victim to the steam bath. Can you see the stone building, everybody? To put it. Afterwards, they prepare a very heavy drink called balche. Balche came from the tree balche. It was pretty much like a drug. Okay. All the way. 1904. You won't believe it. An American consul, Edward Thompson, paid $200 for the whole property, including the hacienda. And then, using a very primitive tool, like a crane, destroy a lot of things, and then illegally took all the stuff to the United States. He just left the garbage. I mean, see that piece of metal with cement? That was from Thompson. Actually, we have the tool in exhibit at the main entrance where the bathrooms are. Maybe some of you already saw it.
Oh, yeah.
So the aquí entonces le traía era llevado a la vez una santa de adornos, el agua, hay como 23 o 4 horas de llegar al agua, hay allá de agua aproximadamente. 3 in 1, the man, serpent, bird. Knowledge, power, perceived. That was Quetzalcoatl. But see, according to legend, this god, Quetzalcoatl, turned into a man. America. White skin, beard. Others believe it was Saint Thomas. Others believe it was, Eric the Red, the Viking. That, not the father, the son. Eric the Red, son. And others believe it was an Irish monk. Because, see, if we go back in history, all those personalities, are from the 900s, 10th century. However, Quetzalcoatl left, abandoned, the city, but they promised to come back, I'll be back. Who showed up instead, Quetzalcoatl? Please, tell me, everybody knows. Spaniards, Cortez. Remember, the Spaniards, white, tall, blue eyes. And the most impressive thing, they were on horses. Remember, there were no horses before the Spanish. So Indians believed, the Spanish were gods. Now we understand why the conquest of Mexico was easier. Now let's have a look to the colors. Look at all these colors on the wall. Fact. So, there's not much resistance. They're gone. So how come the main temple is still in good shape? Who's the architect? Maya architect. The false arch. False arch. All the way raised at the sides. Fantastic. Egyptians, other cultures had, false arch. My friend, there were human sacrifices in this building. See? At the Temple of the Warriors. Remember the Spanish priest that burned the Maya records in fire? Yeah. Well, he sent information to the kings of Spain. If you are interested, the name of the book, Before and After the Conquest, Landa. So this time we need a high priest, if he would like to cooperate. Now we're going to place the body on the sacrificial platform, which is on top of this building at the back. Look. Can you see? It's called by warriors. Then they hold arms and legs. Mayans, obsessed with the pass of time, developed the moon calendar with 260 days and the sun calendar with 265, just like our calendar, the Gregorian calendar. Well, listen carefully. This is the sun calendar. We have 91 steps each side. How many sides?
4.
How many steps total? 364. Plus the platform on top? 365. 18 months a year. Represent by 9 platforms in one side and in the other 18. 20 days a month. See, those were represented by solar glyphs. Can you see that little glyph sticking out all the way to the top? There used to be 5 each side, in a spiral shape. 5 times 4, 20. Now tell me, if you have 18 months, 20 days each, how many days total?
Sorry, can you that again?
Yes. 18 months, 20 calendar for the leap year. Everything has a meaning. But there's one more thing. When the moon and the sun calendar synchronize, there is a perfect cycle of 52 years. One cycle, one era. Like for us, a century means 52 years. Those 52 years are represented by 26 deeper panels in one side, 26 in the other side. No matter what face you're looking at, you'll count the 26 panels. Every 52 years is when they remodel the older buildings or add the structures to the other ones. So in all these buildings, we have substructures. The main pyramid is not an exception. Look. See that? So these idols are still inside. In the free time, if the gate is open, you can walk up and see. I don't recommend it because it's narrow, slippery, humid. It's claustrophobic. But it's up to you. There is one more thing. We have such a perfect design that every time is the equinox, 21st of March, 21st of December, 22nd of September. Do you remember what's the equinox? Okay. They have the taxes department, they have public buildings, the schools, banks, everything. Just like the building in front of us. It's an astronomical observatory. See, they were great scientists. So look, the whole building, it was a sundial. That's why it's round. Fantastic. Sundial. In the free time, if you go up there, you're going to see 2 ditches. Right in both sides of the building. Oh, great. Now, if you look carefully, right on the edge of the square platform, can you see those stone heads? See water, different levels. So that way they have water mirrors. You see how smart? So at night, when the stars reflect on the water, they study the constellations. The moon, Venus. Fantastic. water mirrors. See, the doorways, the windows are also lined up with the sun, but only on important dates. The equinox, solstice, the sunrise at the sunset. Just to give you an idea, when we have the 21st of December, winter solstice, and when the sun goes down, the light goes through the western door, and look, all you can see on the floor is a beam light that goes to the northern door, just like this. I took this picture 4:30 p.m. Look how